Hey guys, what is going on? Coming back at you with a recap video for the second game of the Boston Red Sox and the Toronto Blue Jays, and we're gonna divide this game up into two sections: the first to the fifth inning, and then the sixth to the ninth. And there's a good reason for that, and we're gonna talk about that. So, the first to the fifth inning for the Red Sox. First of all, Nathan Eovaldi got the start today, and he went 5 innings, and I think he allowed 6 or 7 hits and 5 runs. So he got absolutely crushed again. Like, this is a reoccurring theme with the Red Sox starters. They haven't pitched well at all. The starting rotation has struggled mightily to start this season off. So he let up 5 runs, and 3 home runs were hit off of him, and one of those was an absolute moonshot, a bomb that probably still hasn't landed. It was absolutely crushed. And so we'll talk about Eovaldi for a sec here. The good first. We'll talk about the good things first. The good thing with Eovaldi is that he's always been a hard thrower. And the velocity for him was there the whole time. He was throwing 95 plus, well into the fourth and fifth innings, and the velocity was there the whole game. He was definitely throwing hard all through all 5 innings, which is a plus. Good, that's good, great. The one thing that has kind of snake bitten the Red Sox starting pitching this year, and this goes for all of them, and it got Eovaldi last night, and that was the location of location for Eovaldi, and being able to hit the corners and put these pitches in the right spots at the right time. And just like the rest of the starting rotation, Eovaldi last night struggled mightily with it. His location was way off last night, and it showed. The three home runs that were hit off of him, 2 of them were hanging breaking balls that were right over the heart of the plate and just absolutely crushed. And the big long home run, the big, like, 5, they were saying it, close to 500 foot, was a fastball that he threw down in the zone, but it was crushed. So just like the rest of the Jesus Christ, sorry guys, Red Sox starting pitching, he struggled mightily with the location, and it hurt him big time. And on the flip side, the Red Sox, the hitting for the Sox didn't help out any either. The bats went to sleep for the first 5 innings of the game, and there was not too many hits for the Sox, and they couldn't do a lot of their damage early on in this game like the Blue Jays did. And that was definitely a negative, because when you do that, you kind of back yourself into a corner, and you're forcing yourself into these really tight windows, 2, 3, 4 innings to make up a 3-4 run deficit in 3 or 4 innings is definitely not easy. So if the bats aren't awake for the Sox, they're in for a long day, and they were yesterday. And unfortunately, it worked out for them, because they did win 7-6. They did get the win. So that was definitely a plus. And so let's talk about the from the 6th inning on now. The 6th inning on is when the Sox did most of their damage. The Mitch Moreland RBI double was a huge part of that rally that clawed them back into this thing. And at the end of the last 2 innings, they were able to claw their way back into it. And the bases were loaded for Rafi Devers, and he delivered a walk-off single for them, and it won them the game 7-6. So, getting the W is a great thing. They really had to work for this one. And you know, I think with this team and with the consistency issues that we're seeing, we're really going to have to kind of ride this roller coaster of, you know, with the consistency until they manage to kind of straighten the pitching staff out, and they can get more consistent with the bats. Another thing that was kind of concerning is yet again the fielding errors yesterday, and the lack of ability to field easy ground balls and easy fly balls. That's been a definite concern for them this year. So the Sox are battling a lot of issues right now. It's kind of worrisome. And some other news that has to do with the starting pitching that I read today, and that's a little bit concerning. I don't know if we should push I don't know if we should go full-blown panic mode with it, but Chris Sale, I was going to say Evaldi, but sorry guys, Chris Sale, who was supposed to be getting the start in the third game of the Baltimore Orioles series, which is the series that's coming up, his start has been pushed back 2 days. So he's going to be starting, instead of the third game against the Orioles, he is going to be starting game 1, I believe, against the Yankees. So I think it's against the Yankees. Don't quote me on that, guys. I thought it was the Yankees. So anyways, the biggest thing is he's getting 2 extra days of rest. So they're giving him, I mean, we're only like not even 30 games into the season, and Chris Sale's already having to have 2 extra days of rest, and they're already trying to manage him. That's not a good sign. So, but at this point, you know, I think with the Red Sox and their consistency issues, at this point of the season, guys, I think we're just gonna have to ride that roller coaster until they figure it out. And you know, when they, you know, whether they, at this point it's you know, whether they win by an inch or a mile, we should just take the W, you know, take the W any way you can get it and stay in the race, because you can't win. The people always say you can't win the division in April, but you can lose it. If they get down in big in the next 2 months, you know, April and May, that could be a serious problem to have to make up all those games later on. So the Sox got some issues they definitely got to work out, and hopefully facing Baltimore in this coming 3-game series, I know Baltimore on paper hasn't, you know, they're not the most talented team, so hopefully we can do what we did last year to the Orioles and just beat them up and take all 3 from them, or at least 2 out of 3. That's what I hope. So, but I'll talk about that in my Orioles preview that I'm going to be making later on. So once again, guys, thanks a lot for watching. I appreciate every single one of my subscribers, and I appreciate anybody who gives this video a watch. You guys have a good one, and I will see you on the next one. Take it easy, guys.